Dow Jones Futures are back in the limelight today as investors take close notice of cues leading up to the next session. The contracts for futures, which are essentially wagers on whether the Dow Jones Industrial Average will rise or fall when the market opens, offer a snapshot of market mood in real time. Today's action on Dow Jones Futures is driven by a combination of optimism and conservatism against the backdrop of some influential economic and geopolitical realities. One of the main forces driving activity today is the release of future economic statistics, such as jobless claims and inflation figures. Speculators are attempting to make educated guesses about whether the Federal Reserve will keep pursuing current monetary policy or shift direction as the economic picture evolves. Surprises in this data can cause futures prices to quickly shift. Corporate profits also come into play. A number of key companies are about to publish quarterly results, and strength or weakness there in areas such as technology, healthcare, and consumer products will be watched closely by analysts. Good earnings can propel futures upward, while poor ones could send them lower. Geopolitical tensions persist. Trailing conflicts, trade talks, and energy supply issues have generated turbulence in world markets, and the Dow Jones Futures are no exception. Investors remain sensitive to news that might impact world stability and, by extension, market performance. Another one that affects is the bond market. Treasury yields have been volatile, and an increase in yields can indicate investor anticipation of higher inflation or the tightening of monetary policy. This directly impacts equities, particularly rate-sensitive industries such as real estate and utilities. Furthermore, the technology industry remains in the spotlight. With artificial intelligence, semiconductor stocks, and software firms leading market conversations, sentiment in the Nasdaq and general tech environment is influencing futures. Should the technology stocks be robust, it tends to increase overall investors' confidence in the market. Retail investors are also playing an increasingly large role. Sites such as Robinhood and social media forums are dictating short-term market action. Dow Futures now capture not only institutional plans but retail sentiment, and that can lead to extreme whipsaws. Technicians are monitoring closely key technical levels. Support and resistance points on the Dow chart can initiate automatic selling or buying, which would serve to enhance the moves in futures trading. Traders are employing these levels to organize entries and exits prior to the market opening. The futures market is also responding to recent words of Federal Reserve officials. When policymakers hint at a change in strategy, whether to keep hiking rates or to hold off on them, the effect is instantly seen in the futures market. Investors wait with bated breath for every utterance by the Fed. In summary, Dow Jones Futures provide an essential window into market expectations. Though not necessarily always perfect in prediction, they enable traders and investors to anticipate what is to come. Knowing what is propelling the futures can provide you with a competitive advantage in knowing what is happening in the larger financial environment.